Hello, everyone, and welcome to this new Bitcoin technical analysis update. It's been just a few days, but today I want to analyze the Bitcoin chart briefly because of this recent price action which we've seen today from my support level, which I've mentioned several times as very strong support, and we have seen a significant sign of strength from this level, a bounce of like 4%, which is very significant, and therefore the low is in most likely. If you have longed the low, then it is sensible to take a small take profit right here at the point of control, but just a small take profit. Why? Because this move up is so significant. It is, in my opinion, extremely unlikely. Like, I'm talking about maybe a 1 or 2% chance. And this is also it is very likely, in my opinion. I'm extremely confident that we will go from here towards like 92k, 100k, based on the market psychology, based on the higher time frame order flow context. I am very confident that this will happen, just like I've said several times in my previous TA updates. But a small take profit here is sensible. Why? Because there might be, and I'm talking about maybe a 1 or 2% chance that we might get, maybe, like I'm talking a 1% chance maybe. So it's very insignificant. It will not happen probably. So we will go down and then go up. It is extremely unlikely, but that is the reason why I'm taking a very small take profit. So should price go down here, then I'm probably not in a very, I'm probably not even underwater. If that happens, then I'll just buy more. If price goes down, then I'll just buy more. So then I'll be in a very comfortable position if that happens, which is extremely unlikely. But my next take profit will be at 86k. I will not take profit anymore. I'm so confident that this will go up that my next take profit is like around 86k and 92k, because that is a point of control of this previous range. And yeah, like we bounced from this level, and it's so perfect. Like, I'm looking at the graph and I can just see how Bitcoin moves. I can see ranges, consolidations. I can see the range low. I can see the range high. I can see internal ranges within the bigger range. I can see the value areas. I can see the deviation areas. And for a beginner, someone who has no knowledge or little knowledge, then you will probably not understand what I'm saying. Or maybe just a little, but it's really absolutely perfect. And I can tell you that technical analysis dominates trading. It's not fundamental analysis. It's not macroeconomics or on-chain analysis. It's really technical analysis dominates trading. And I'm giving you the proof right here as well, because for the past 15, 20 updates which I've uploaded, I was right every single time. And I'm looking here at the graph, and it's like how, especially like Bitcoin. And I remember a documentary which I've seen from Jeffrey Epstein, and obviously this is a very controversial man. You know, everyone is talking really bad about this person, but you have to believe me when I'm saying, when the whole world is just like trading. When the whole world thinks we're going down, we will go up. When the whole world thinks we'll go up, then we'll go down. And when the whole world is speaking bad about a person, then it's probably not true, at least not entirely true. And I remember a documentary from him, and he was saying, and it's really true what he said. So he said, he was talking about traders, about trading, and he said, when I'm talking to experienced traders and you ask them, how did you know that price would go up or down? And then he said, and this is true, they will tell you, I don't know, but I felt it. And they know price will go up, but they cannot give you a mathematical explanation of why price went up, but they felt it. And it's partially true what he says. Why? Because I know I'm always saying, like, I have this kind of intuition, and I believe that intuition exists. But also a really important part of why I know that price, for example, for example, I knew price would go up. I knew I gave you the exact entry here, the exact low. I gave you the exact high here, and right now I give you the exact low again. Just based from my recent videos, and also here as well. Also this kind of price here was a little less, but especially here. And how did I know that? Just by looking at the graph, and by looking at all these structures, and by looking at the Bitcoin chart every single day for hours and hours and hours. And then your brain starts to recognize patterns. It starts to recognize how the market moves. And that's what he said. Like Jeffrey Epstein said, they feel it. They know how the market moves. And he means that that experienced traders, they look at the chart every day, and they start to recognize how the market moves. They start to recognize patterns. And I'm not talking here about a head and shoulders, about a rising wedge, about a triangle. No, I'm talking about really complex patterns here. Just like when you're looking at a mountain. Like whenever I'm looking at the creation of God, for example, a mountain, it's absolutely perfect. There are no obvious patterns to be seen there, like in trading, for example, a rising wedge, like a really obvious pattern. No, but in a mountain, I can see the structures of the mountain. I can see the form, and I just know it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. And with trading, it's the same thing. Here, like this price action here, let me just put this away real quick. Like for example, this price action, I cannot see a pattern here, right? I cannot see a clear, like obvious textbook pattern, but I can see patterns here. I can see that it's moving perfectly, and that is why I knew that price would bounce from here. That's why I knew price would reject from here. I remember looking at this. I was going to the 1 hour, and I knew straight away price went there, and I said, this is bearish. This is bearish structure. I knew that price would reject from here, and I knew that these highs would not be taken. I gave you the probabilistic. I gave you like reasons why, right? Because market makers were defending this this low. Sorry, this high. It's less risky to accumulate sells here and putting your stop loss here, and also protecting the liquidity from long side buys. But I was looking at the 1 hour chart, and I just knew this is the high. And I was looking here, and I just knew this is the low. I just knew just by briefly looking at the chart. And that is what Jeffrey Epstein meant with that statement, and it's true. So in this case, in this scenario, this was the range high. This was the range high of obviously this is a big consolidation we're consolidating in, but within this big consolidation, this was a big range in which we've traded for a few months. And based on my opinion, based on my analysis, based on the graph analysis, I would argue that this was the range high. This was the range high. This was the value area high. And this is a deviation area. And what I mean with a deviation is this is the range. So price should consolidate within the range, right? But sometimes you get a deviation. And then that means the price gets out of the range. And if price goes and then starts consolidating, and then if price goes down, then you have a failed auction. Then the auction did not take place. Buyers and sellers did not agree to break out of the range for higher prices. No. What happens then? Price goes down again to continue to consolidate within this range. So you can see here that this is a deviation area. Let me just mark this out more clearly. And what we've seen, and within this deviation area, you always see low. These are low volume nodes, and you can see here these quick moves down. We've completely filled this deviation area. We retested this deviation area. So we just retested the previous range high. That's why I said this was support, because I just knew that there was a big support level. And we popped into that deviation area, and then we quickly went up again, and we retested it as support. And right now we've found acceptance within this range we're currently trading at. And the correct volume profile is then of course this. We're not taking this deviation area into account because that is not part of the range. The range we're currently trading at is this. So the big resistance right here, to be honest, this is the most crucial resistance. If we go up here, then we will definitely go to 86k, which I'm totally expecting. So right now we're consolidating around the point of control, so I'm totally expecting price to consolidate here around this point of control until CME opens and the other sessions during the week. So if you're a swing trader and you're not in position yet, then no financial advice, of course, but it's still possible to buy up here. I would not buy here right now because based on this new price action, but it's still acceptable in my opinion to open a swing long, because the target is much higher. I already said in my previous update, market makers have been accumulating here, and they've been accumulating down here again. A lot of limit buys have been filled here, of course. And when we're trading at 90k, then it didn't really matter, right? If you bought here or here. But you need to have a good invalidation. And in my opinion, a good invalidation is under 70k. So it's important, right? Whenever I'm doing updates, like in my videos, I'm always discussing high time frame setups. But you do not want to get caught. Like if you're doing a swing trade, then you do not want to get caught in internal liquidity hunts and internal battles between longs and shorts right here, who are scalp trading, right? Like if you're opening a swing long, then you do not want to over leverage your positions. You need to have proper risk management according to your swing idea. Like you cannot open up a long here and then being over leveraged because of this kind of price action, right? because that's what usually happens, especially in bear markets. So then you have to adjust your position sizing. And no financial advice again. Yeah, it's not, of course, not ideal place for long, right? But it's still acceptable in my opinion. And the invalidation is kind of like, if we're taking out 70k, then I will probably make a huge loss on this trade. But yeah, I'm willing to take a risk. At the end of the day, you have to take risks, right? And it's a good risk. So I think this is a great opportunity for much higher prices. So yeah, I think we'll just consolidate around the point of control till CME opens, and until the market, till the session opens on Monday. And yeah, like I'm thinking right now, like what are in this context right now, in this situation, I am not interested in shorts at all. Like I was here, if price goes up here now, I will short. I will not take any shorts. Like if you're approaching this as like a really quick scalp short, okay, and this takes experience to understand this, right? Because here I wanted to short, but if price goes up here now, and I'm not interested in shorts anymore. Why? Because we've taken all of this liquidity, so then there's no reason here no more to go down. And this is a very strong move. So in terms of shorts, or important, and also like so many big institutions, they have been also exchanges. They have been buying up here. They have been buying spot here, and they definitely want to defend their spot buys. So price goes down. You know, like it's just impossible, to be honest. Like so much bearishness was triggered here. Like I said in my previous video, so much bearishness will trigger here. It's just no way. It's just impossible. You know, there's so many reasons why I think price will go up from here. But yeah, anyways, like for short setups, I'm really looking at here, to be honest, and I will cover that in my next update, to be honest, because for shorts on the lower time frame, like here, I'm not interested at all anymore. Just not interested anymore. We have a CME gap at 84k. I'm really like, I will probably start to take profits once we hit the point of control. I think that is the first resistance, the point of control, 91k. This is the first resistance. But then I have to think thoroughly, I have to think really deep about a setup here. Should price go, I have still a lot of time left to think about a short setup. Right now, like really quick thinking, it's just like I will just take profits on my longs here. I will take profits here. But for like a clear short setup, then I have to think more long. So I will cover that in my next update. But yeah, a quick recap. I'm not interested in any shorts anymore. Not at all. Should price go down here, which is a really small chance, then I'll just buy more. It's that simple. So that's, of course, I would like to add that we still have two close by CME gaps. We have one at 84k, and we also have a CME gap at 79k. So, you know, there are just so many reasons why I think the price will go up much higher. So yeah, I think that I have given more information, especially regarding my view of short positions. And right now I've clearly stated I'm not interested in any sells. I'm not interested in any short positions anywhere close. Not anymore. So yeah, like I said, most likely we will consolidate around the point of control until Monday. It is possible that we'll just continue tomorrow or maybe even tonight. But yeah, most likely we will consolidate within this area, within 76.2k, and yeah, perhaps we'll test the value area high of the smaller consolidation, right? Like I said, this was the previous range, and this is the value area high. So we're now retesting the value area low. So right now we retested the value area low, right? Value area low retest, and then we can travel all the way to the value area high. That's very possible. But yeah, so yeah, we will most likely consolidate within this region until Monday. Like I said, I am not interested in any shorts. Of course, what is your approach? If your approach is like a really scalp type of shorts, then that's obviously different. But I'm always covering high time frame setups, and or at least like intraday setups like this one. Like I'm always covering like at least like 3% moves, right? Like 4% moves at least. Like I'm not interested in these like smaller moves. If you're scalped, like I do scalp trades, so I do momentum trades as well. But these trades I am not covering in my my updates. I'm doing many times. I'm doing like scalp trades, like these momentum trades, but I'm just not covering them into my updates. For now, this was it. You all know this is sport, right? Invalidation 70k. Not interested in any shorts. I'm totally expecting to go to 92k. Will be a big take profit area, and in the next update I will cover my next my next short, which I'm interested in. By the way, I closed my shorts. By the way, I have not any shorts anymore. I'm just fully long right now. So yeah, for now, thanks for watching, and until the next video.